Hello and welcome everybody to the Series 3 finale of A Familiar Quest. I can't believe it's already here. I'm Eugenio, I am DM Jazzy Hands. I have the absolute I combined the words pleasure and yeah, I know. It's fine. It is my pleasure to be here tonight. Pleasure. What? It's my pleasure to be here tonight. As your Dungeon Master, let's go around and say hello to everybody who is also here with me tonight to help tell this story. Let's start. Oh, we're just going to go in random order. Let's start with Brian.
Hi, it is my absolute privilege to be here.
Privilege. Thank you. That was
Brian.
the other word I combined that I then lost. Yeah.
I'm Brian, aka Urban Bohemian. I am playing Disco, the Fractal mascot. Our pronouns are he, they, and we are just real happy to be here, y'all, but we are not ready for this to end.
Oh. Well, jumping on over to Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly, the Opera Geek, and I am playing this thing, Scotty.
Yes.
Perfection.
Who's very sad that it is ending like I am. Scotty's pronouns are he, him, and you can call him at any time if you have snacks.
Perfect. Jumping back over to Alicia.
Hey everybody, I'm Alicia Marie, or Alicia Marie Body on socials, and I had the best time playing with y'all, and I still can't believe this is the last one. Like, I don't know where they all went.
I know. True.
I know, and, and tonight I'll be playing Misty the Will-O-Wisp, who is happily packed her tribunal and done some amazing things with her new friends, and she's hoping this isn't the end.
Surely there will be plenty more, I have no doubt. Last but most certainly not least, Megan.
I hope it's not the end either. Can we just have a 4-hour show? Have like a long spa day?
Janie was like, what?
A very long spa day, yeah. That you all lead on your own.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
It'll be fine. I'm Megan Kenrick, and I'll be playing Squiddle, the Elder Godling. They are an aberrant mind sorcerer who desperately needs Daddy's approval. And we'll hopefully get that this very last episode.
I mean,
we'll see.
There are a lot of possibilities for tonight based on just conversations that only you and I have had, even, Megan. And so we shall certainly see.
Gonna do my best.
Can't wait. A few reminders for the audience tonight. First of all, thank you so very much for tuning in, all of you. And we want to extend a special thank you and welcome to folks who play Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. We appreciate you being here this evening. We do ask that you recall that we are all telling a story up here together. We are all professionals, and we know what our characters are going to do. And so just avoid backseating. Keep an eye on it in the chat, as will the mods. Tonight's Electrum chest code, for those of you who play Idle Champions and want to redeem this code, the code this week is Familiar End with an exclamation mark at the end. Familiar End, FAMILIAREND, exclamation mark. My favorite part about this week's code is that the middle chunk of the code is just the word liar in all caps.
Called out for any reason?
This code will expire next Monday, May 29th at 4 p.m. Pacific, so use it now. Do also make sure to stick around tonight because there is going to be a final Beetle and Grimm's dice set giveaway. This week we are giving away the Cleric class set, I believe, before the end of the show. So you can check out all of them. None of these are the Cleric set, just so you know.
But which one of us has it?
Yeah, no, none of us. But that'll be out tonight. So be sure to keep an eye on chat. The mods will let you know how to enter, instructions on how to enter, what to happen, what to do when you win. And do recall, unfortunately, this is only for US and Canada residents, and unfortunately, we do have to exclude Quebec. So good luck. Don't forget to check your whispers if you win. We want to say quickly a huge thank you to our moderator tonight, Lauren, and our producer, Luca. And with that, shall we do our recap? And also, can I please bring you all back to the screen that's in front of me because I miss your faces. There we go. Hello. So last week, you all arrived in Thay at the behest of Pest, whose quest you had completed. Yes, you're welcome, Brian. You were welcomed with open arms, told that Pest was working on plans for the betterment of familiar kind, and that you all would be of great help if you so decided to help. He took you to your rooms, each of which was specifically appointed for each of your needs. And you had a lovely evening, ordering brains, discussing plans, enjoying, brains in people's beds. It was a lovely evening. It was also discussed what you all wanted to do about the situation. You were told by Pest that you had the run of this palace or wherever it is that you all are, except for his lab in the basement. There's some very delicate equipment down there. Best if you wait till morning for him to show you all around down there. So obviously you all went to break into his lab in the basement. As you made your way downstairs, very quietly for the most part, very, very sneakily, you saw down the corridor the entrance to the lab. Oh, you sent, Squiddle summoned a Squickling, summoned us, and sent the sort of aberrant Quickling who had drank Squiddle's juice in a previous episode on a recon mission. Yeah, it's getting worse. I gotta keep going. Was sent on a recon mission to check out where the entrance to the lab was and what was guarding it. Came back and reported that there were 2 guards, which, as we have already alluded to tonight, you all dispatched with very little prejudice at all. Those poor familiars. One of them was a giant lizard, and the other one was another marionette-ish puppet. Fairly quickly dispatched, and you all retrieved the key to the lab from one of them, and that is where we pick up this week. The door to the lab is in front of you. One of the torches, I believe, the torch was put out, so it is dark in this hallway. These 2 unconscious familiars lie on the ground. What do you do?
Sorry for pushing that one into you, Misty. That didn't hurt you, did it?
No, not at all.
Good.
I was proud of you. I thought you did an amazing job.
Good. I did that for you so that your family would be proud of you.
I hope they are, if they're watching still.
I think they would be. So, I guess the only thing left to do is open this door.
Misty's gonna go and attach herself to Scotty again.
Mhm. I think Squiddle's gonna have to open the door because I don't have thumbs and they don't have hands.
The door, the doorknob?
In both seasons that Megan has been in of this show, it has always been, thank God one of us has thumbs.
I'm surprised how often it comes up. So Squiddle is just gonna use a bonus action for that telekinetic tentacle to turn the doorknob. Just in case. Let's play it safe.
Perfect. Just in case. Absolutely. So as the key clicks, you do actually see sort of a little. If you've ever seen like flash paper go up, right? It just sort of like singes along really quickly, and it's bright but not very hot. You see a sort of similar effect, spider web across the door, as if the key dispelled some sort of security rune that was on the door, in addition to the lock, the physical lock itself.
Oh, so there was a key in the keyhole that the tentacle just turned? Or...
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the tentacle used the key. The tentacle was just going...
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, the tentacle used the key.
Yes, okay, great.
Okay.
Sorry. So yeah, when the tentacle does turns the key in the lock, that spell spiderwebs across the door and deactivates. And there's a click, and the door is open.
Whoa.
It's dark beyond,
Whoa.
but there is okay, sorry.
Yeah, let Disco, your turn.
What?
Perfect. That is
We ain't-
this
we
was
ain't
This is
even
the
turn
part
the-
where you say, whoa.
Oh, we ain't even turned the lights back on. What are y'all wowing at?
Yeah, that's right. Disco can't see shit.
That's awesome. What?
Disco, do you have any of that fairy fire? You should see this.
You should see this.
Yeah, that would be great. Seeing stuff would be awesome.
Misty, can't you also be light?
Disco will.
Oh,
don't-
yeah, I can.
Disco will
New
cast.
skill unlocked.
Oh,
Misty now, because I like to think that because when she passed her, she got access to a couple more spells. One is the ability to charm people using like fun, good smells, and maybe this one is the one that I'm calling. She shines so bright, and it's variable illumination, where she can shine this like bright light, 50 to 20 foot in dim light for a number of feet equal to the chosen radius. Oh, so yeah, she's like a big glowing fur ball.
Attached to Scotty's
Are
head.
you saying that I have graduated from you being velcroed on my head to like having a spotlight command hooked onto my head?
Yeah, it's
Why
a
not
spotlight,
both?
but it's like a drift globe spotlight, right? So it's omnidirectional, which, for better or
Like with
worse.
the spider.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Like a really
Okay.
cute lighthouse.
So Disco, you start a casting, and then all of a sudden, hanging off of Scotty's head is this sort of Nerf-like light up thing with great big green eyes, and you realize it's Misty.
Oh, okay. Now I can go. Wow.
And
Yeah, I
what do you
told you.
wow at? So in here, you see that you have walked into a little vestibule area, and there are two sort of windows that you can see, one to your left and one to your right. It's a really small little room. And both windows look into these small laboratory, experimental looking areas. And there you can just barely see on the floor in both of these rooms to the right and the left, there are sigils carved in various circles all over the floors of both of these rooms. There's also, in the room on your left, there is a weird sort of haziness in the room. It almost looks like Misty's light is being absorbed by something in the room on the left a little bit. So it's harder to see the details in that room. There are doors to each of those rooms on the right and left from this little vestibule. And that's all that's in this room.
Hey, Ash. Are you with us? Us?
And zooming in from behind. Oh, yes.
There's a door over there to the left.
Uh-huh.
Can you try to open it and get into the room and then tell us what you see?
Definitely.
Did I
So
check for traps?
us runs. I think that's what Squiddle is doing. So us runs over and runs up the wall, up the door rather, and sort of swings from the door handle. And let's see what happens. Where are all? Oh, here we go. Okay. And it sort of, you see him holding it, and it sort of takes him a few swings back and forth to really get enough momentum going to really get this knob to turn at all. But after a few swings, he does manage to get the door to open. He doesn't explode, but the door does swing open ever so slightly. And
Good
he
job,
drops
Ash.
down to the ground and runs back up to you. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
What did you see?
You didn't tell me to look. Okay. He runs back over to the door. Peeks his head and runs back and says, "Writing on the floor."
Writing? What, is there like a giant circle?
He thinks for a minute. Hold on. And then he runs back over to the room and runs inside this time. And is gone for a few seconds before running out and nodding his head. Looks like writing in a circle.
Okay, Ash, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to the middle of the circle
Yeah.
and then stand there.
Okay. He runs to the middle of the circle and stands there.
I'm listening for any screams or
I mean, you can watch him through the window
Distress.
if you want. He's just standing there, kind of vibrating a little bit, but
Yeah,
he's
Scotty's got his nose pressed up against the window. He's gonna make sure to leave like little nose prints all
very
along the
cute.
window.
Very cute. Yeah, I should also mention that, like, once you pass through into this room, and I didn't mention this, but the windows are quite low down. Like, they're sort of y'all-sized.
Convenient.
Suspicious.
The door does
actually.
not seem to be, but the window is.
Scotty, is us still there? Are they still alive? Can you see?
Uh-huh.
I see him too.
Oh, you
Well, we
wanted
just-
an answer to both questions. Yes and yes.
Okay, well, I guess it's safe. We
Disco.
should just go in.
All right.
Okay.
And this is the one on the left, right?
Yeah.
The one on the left, correct? Jesus. Okay.
No, no, it's the one on the left, right?
The left,
Stop
right?
it.
This is now we're gonna do it again.
Never.
The one on the
we're going.
left.
So we're going west, east.
Is that Scotty asking or Kelly asking?
No, it's just Kelly being a jerk.
Would it matter?
Okay, cool. Yeah, fair enough.
It depends on if you're looking at the map or if you're in the map.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. All right, so you go into this room and you can see a little more clearly, and those of you who can either make yourselves bigger and get a little higher up or who can fly up and get a better vantage can kind of see that it looks like there are there are 4 concentric circles of what are very obviously arcane runes, although if you want to figure out what kind of runes, you'd have to study them for a little while. But 4 concentric circles of arcane runes taking up most of the floor in this room. And you can see that in the space between the outermost ring and the next ring in, there is this sort of ring of crackling, popping shadow.
It's like when you're trying to get a fly with a fly swatter, an electric fly swatter.
Yes. Yes, but like the light part of that is like negative light. It's kind of
like the
hard to
void?
look at. No, not exactly. Maybe related in a way, but it isn't a passageway to the void, no.
Like,
but it is kind of weird like that. Kind of
like tiny little black holes, like light can't escape.
yes, sort of thing.
As she knows before.
Is
Does
that
this look
supposed to do
familiar
that?
to you?
Not beyond that. Not more than that. Well, I don't know actually. You know what? Make anyone who would like to can make an Arcana check.
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
For
It was awful.
pity's sake.
Wait.
Oh, is it really bad?
Oh, I haven't. Hold on.
It was
I mean, not that's
embarrassing.
gonna be.
Oh,
bad,
that's
but-
We
really
didn't even
funny.
bother bringing it up.
Holy shit, y'all. Gotta get the best one and got a 12. And Scotty's the rogue. That's very funny. Yeah, no, none of you have any. I mean, it's probably
Emphasis
magical.
dump stat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the little thing is in the middle of the concentric, and nothing's
In the middle
happening
of
to
the-
it standing
right.
there,
Like
right?
it doesn't
No,
seem
and it-
affected by going through.
No, it doesn't. Why don't you all, since the Arcana checks just went so well, why don't I just have perception checks from all of you?
You're very kind, DM.
I'm trying. Listen. Oh, okay.
22.
All right. Great. Glorious. Thank you, Misty. Disco?
6.
Squiddle?
4.
Okay. Scotty?
15.
All right. So,
Okay.
Misty
Scotty is
and
the
Scotty.
smartest one in the room.
Misty and Scotty, you all notice 2 things. One, actually, both of you notice one thing, that on the other, like on the back side of the rings, sort of behind where us, the Squickling, is standing and looking at you all, there is almost a little archway of darker shadow in this ring.
There's an
But it's
archway.
behind, yeah, but it's behind where us is. So it's likely that he didn't pass through it. Just germane to your questions about like, did anything happen when he walked through the shadow? No, but there is something different behind him. Misty, with the 22, you also notice that there is almost directly, and it doesn't, this probably happenstance just because if you move at all, it'll change, but almost directly behind that dark archway, there's actually another door in the back wall of this room that leads somewhere else.
And it works because she's got dark vision too, which is 120.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that because of Will-O-Wisp.
Oh, well, there you go. Even better.
Yeah. So she's going to, in fact, she's gonna first, like, you see her doing, like, sort of floating a little bit, and she's gonna, like, detach from Scotty a little bit.
Okay, the light starts to.
Yeah, a little bit. You guys.
Yeah.
Hark. There's another door.
Bar?
That way. And she doesn't point because she doesn't have hands, but I do.
Right. She sort of
Over there.
turns
Just-
to look.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Her
looking
ears
in
is
the
like-
direction that she's
Ears
looking. Yeah.
gesture.
Oh, there's a door because I see the other. I mean, I don't see anything, but us.
Ah?
Could you take like 5 big steps backward?
Yeah, he takes 5 giant steps backward and is like halfway to the archway.
Can
He's
you
very
take-
small.
It's a- yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 5 inches away.
Can you take 8 big steps backwards?
without looking behind you.
He gets. He thinks this is great fun and is totally here for it. So he gets about 6 steps and he steps through the archway and vanishes.
Hey, us, can you come back?
What a good question.
What did y'all do?
Oh, okay. It takes a few seconds, but he struts out and back into the center.
What did you see?
It was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
How?
It's broken.
What's broken us?
Like everything.
Like apocalyptic, or like something more specific?
What's
Something more
apocalyptic?
general.
Okay, I have an idea.
Mhm.
So there's 4 circles, right?
Mhm.
And well, there's 4 of us if you don't count us.
Oh.
I don't count us at all.
You can come sit on my shoulder.
I mean, is up there in a second if he can be.
What if each one of us stands in a circle? Maybe that will
like a
fix the
different
thing
one?
that's broken.
You think?
Yeah.
You think we're?
You
Wait a
think
minute.
This is a good idea?
I don't know yet until
I
we
don't
do
think
it.
anything we've done tonight has been a particularly good idea, but we're here now.
I took a nap earlier, and that was an excellent idea. I just think from then on, it's gone downhill.
That's pretty low risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like bad ideas though, so I say we do it.
Do we want to do that or do the door first? Do circles first because they're right here and we don't have object permanence?
I mean, we haven't put them in a drawer or anything, so I guess we
How
should
do we
stand in
ch-
them before we forget about them.
Exactly.
Why
How do we
is
choose
my
who gets
ADHD
in
being
what
attacked
circle,
by
though?
Scotty? That's rude.
Because
Rude.
Scotty's ADHD recognizes the ADHD.
All of the rest of you. Yeah.
What?
All right. So is that our plan to each stand in a ring?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Who is standing where? Who's in the outermost ring? Just out of curiosity, I'm just yeah.
I think Scotty would be in the
Great.
outermost ring because he is a bit of a coward.
Sure.
Aw.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, who's next? Next inner.
So remind me, I'm thinking of this like very conceptually and
Uh-huh.
probably not correct in my mind. But the way that the circles are aligned, is it like one after like a
So
straight line?
they're
front of that door?
inside each other like that.
Like a Dresden doll.
Oh, okay.
Except they're circles and not whatever mathematical monstrosity that is.
Oh, so it's like
Um,
skee ball. Okay.
Concentric circle.
Yes. Yeah, they're within each other.
Nestled.
So
Oh,
Scotty is in the
nestled.
500 point spot.
I'm
That's
in the
exactly
500
right.
Yes.
points.
Yeah.
It marks the only time I will ever hit 500 points.
On skee ball. Yeah, fair enough.
Same.
All right, so who's in the next ring in?
What do you guys think?
Disco will go in the next one next to Scotty.
Okay, and then third one in. The center one is basically the center of this room. So who's in the next one in?
I'm okay with
Miss-
either one, Misty.
Missy looks at Squiddle and says, okay. And she's gonna float slowly over to the next circle and
Okay.
stare at
So
Squiddle.
so Squiddle, you want to take the center?
Yeah, Squiddle's just gonna levitate over to the center.
Interesting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Squiddle,
that.
when you step into the center, all 4 of you feel something crackle underneath your paws, body, in the air around you, Misty. Squiddle, are you floating or standing?
Floating?
Okay, so also in the air around you then. But it's like a static shock almost, so it's quick, but then it's done. And nothing else happens.
Oh, well, Okay. Well, maybe I've never really been that good at puzzles. So,
Well, oh, did that tingle mean that we got it right or got it wrong?
well, nothing else happened.
My paws itch.
What if I put my feet on the ground? Does anything happen then?
No, nothing changes actually at that point.
Did like the weird negative space thing seem to change at all?
No, why don't you make? I will let everyone make either insight or arcana checks this time.
I'm gonna
on
stop
this.
rolling because
I-
honestly,
I know.
I'll
Well,
do
listen,
insight this
if
time.
any of you
Oh,
happen to, hey, now see, hey, see, not a one of you got below a 10.
Natural 20, 26.
Yeah, there it is. 26 for Misty. Scotty.
15.
Okay, and sorry, Misty, did you roll insight or arcana?
Insight for me.
Okay, great. Scotty rolled.
Insight.
Okay, Squiddle.
24 Arcana.
Great. And Disco.
13 Arcana.
Oh, great. Okay. Disco and Squiddle, you both get the sense that people standing in these spaces is part of whatever the hell this magic thing is. But no, you got it wrong. That wasn't what was supposed to happen. Squiddle, with yours, this almost looks to you like, not that it's incomplete, but like almost like it's a test version, a prototype.
Mm.
There are things about it that are sort of rough and unfinished and undetailed in a way that like gives you prototype energy. I will also say that you notice that whatever that archway is
Is that also
Mm.
a prototype? Is that why it's
kind
broken?
of, sort of, yes. Now, Misty and Scotty, you both
Mhm.
rolled insight.
Mhm.
Both of you get a similar thing as what Squiddle got, which is like the prototype vibe of this place. Misty, you with your natural 20, you also get the sense that like, I don't know, this is a collection of various skills that would give you this, but like no one's really spent any time in this room in a while. Whatever this was a prototype for, it was abandoned a while ago. Nobody's like tested this out. It looks like whatever this archway thing happened, and they probably left it alone after that. You all do with that random bit of information what you will.
Okay. You guys,
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a sense of something in this room. It's not altogether complete. It's almost like someone started something, but then decided not to finish it.
What do you think they were trying to make, and who do you think interrupted them? Or do you think they just abandoned it?
I don't know. I didn't roll like that. I can try though.
Oh, or maybe they also suffer from object impermanence?
Scotty is sniffing the air.
Where's your flashcards?
It smells.
You
It
smell something?
smells like stale old people
Sure.
in here.
What?
Is this room like a first draft?
The air is old.
Disco, you're onto something.
Like,
And
you know,
my
if you make
paws
it
itch.
like
I'm
you know,
allergic to dust.
you crumple up something and throw it away, but this is like a room. You can't really crumple up a room and throw it away. So,
Why would they leave it though?
I mean, also, whatever us went through clearly goes somewhere. So this kind of works, I guess.
But maybe that's why they left it. Maybe it does not go where they wanted.
Well, maybe they successfully completed it in the other room.
You mean the doorway behind the archway?
We have a doorway in the back. We have that Misty
there's-
found.
There's that one too.
There's a lot of, oh yeah.
So we have three things we're looking at right now. The circles we're standing in, the dark archway beyond, and the doorway beyond.
And there's also another room on the other side of the
There's
entrance
a whole-
vestibule.
yeah, like that's like 4 things.
Four things. And 4 of us. Do we split the entire parley completely and destroy the damned game?
This is how we're going to make it a 4-hour episode. We are never going to get anything done.
Scotty is going to, because at this point the conversation's a little above his pay grade.
Sure.
uh,
Sure.
He's
He takes
gonna
a nap.
start. He's gonna start sniffing around. He's gonna have a couple of sneezes because it's very dusty.
Sure.
But he's gonna go sniff around that doorway that Misty found to see if he can get any kind of sense of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll take
I would like
perception
to
with
use
advantage.
my eye for detail.
Oh,
See if
sure.
it's being
Oh.
inquisitive.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So I'm going to do perception at holy god advantage, please. Nope. That's worse.
It's not worse. It's just not a lot better.
It's the dust
Uh,
in my nose.
Yeah, there's a lot of dust. You do definitely. What I will say, you got a 10. Scotty got a 10. What you do though pick up, Scotty, is that people do, or creatures do move through this room, and they are going through that door and continuing on. Who they are, how often, how long ago? I mean, recent enough that you can still kind of smell them, but it's hard to really get much more than that. But creatures definitely have passed through this room in the last, I don't know, at least several days, and have gone into the room beyond that door.
Should we just try walking through it?
Well, are you talking about the archway or the door that I'm at? Because I'm getting very confused.
I don't really
I
know anymore.
don't-
Don't we
I
have to
don't-
go through the archway to get through the door? And then there's like another door
No.
behind it?
I was hoping we could go
Which-
around the archway
Archway,
because the archway doesn't sound very good.
It's not
He
the
said
way I
everything's
described
broken.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we do the doorway first then.
Okay.
We have to get in. Do we need a key?
There's no keyhole on this door.
Scotty
Is it a
will
sliding door?
check for
No,
traps.
There's a knob. Okay, yeah, I'll take
Yay.
a trap
Okay.
check. Do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, now 21.
Yeah, that's good. There's no traps.
Great.
But there is. Make an Arcana check with advantage, Scotty. I know what I'm asking you. I know what I'm asking you.
Oh,
That's a
gosh.
19.
Hell yeah. Okay. There is a glyph on this door,
Uh-huh.
and you don't know what it does, but you don't think it's going to hurt you when you open the door. You're pretty confident about that.
Despite this not being on my flashcards, I feel very confident that we are not going to die if we go through this door. Well, the door isn't going to kill us if we go through this door.
Well, then we should be fine.
But I need
Whatever's
your
behind this door
thumbs.
probably isn't going to kill us either. We've been lucky
Somebody-
so far.
Scotty will, because he's getting antsy, will try to jump up and turn the knob by like biting it and
Yeah.
hanging off of it.
Yes, and you also kind of have to get a little swing going.
Yeah, he's got no teeth, so
us-
it's just very
Us
slippery.
runs,
Aw.
us runs over and pushes you.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, you got it. And the door clicks open, and with Scotty swinging from the handle, creaks in just a little bit. And beyond, you also.
Ban glyph for employees only.
Yeah, nothing seems to happen as it swings open. What you see beyond looks like an office almost. There's like a writing desk with lots of parchment on it. There's a little like alchemical and magical workbench on one side of the room, and it is all scaled to familiar height. Even the chair and the quills, and I mean the parchments are pretty large, but the quills are whittled down to familiar size.
Mm.
And there's parchment blank and written on, sort of strewn all over the place. There's a few pieces sort of tacked up on the wall behind the workbench. This looks like a combination like lab office space. There is one other door in this space also that sort of leads towards the center of whatever this space is.
What? It's like a labyrinth, Scotty.
What's that?
Good.
I don't know.
Oh, why you say it?
It wouldn't be really
It's
easy to get
fascinating.
around if your office was a maze. So probably not. Does the writing, like, I don't even. This is. I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm captivated by these descriptions tonight. I guess like what's on the wall behind the desk. Does it look like it? Is there a general idea or
Yeah.
theme or whatever? to it?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Specifically the things tacked up on the wall behind look like schematics of some sort. They are primarily like drawings, shapes, and whatever drawings that with like margin notes and stuff scribbled all over them. In common, not in Thayan, in common. I can be more specific if you would like, but that's the general idea right now.
Okay, so like we can read them. I mean, just like I guess scanning for anything that do any of the drawings look like the room that like the circles on the room we were just in?
Make an investigation check, Disco,
Oh,
because that is a very good question. And in fact, make it with advantage.
Thank you.
Oh.
Whoa! Wait, I gotta go look.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was good.
oh,
Exactly.
boy. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, that's 21.
Okay. No, none of them do look like the figure in there. However, about half of them involve various configurations of 4 circles. The other half are all similar, like various configurations of a number of circles less than 4. So some of them have 2, some of them actually, one of them only has 1. Most of them have 2, and like one of them has 3.
Does the word familiar pop up in any of the scribblings?
No,
Hmm.
but with a 21, what you do notice are little shorthand abbreviations in pretty much all of the circles in every version of this drawing. And at first it's like, who the hell knows? It's 2 or 3 letters. Who the hell knows what it's abbreviating or acronyming or whatever. But as you start thinking, you're looking for the word familiar, you're thinking about these circles and everything, you realize that you're pretty sure that the labels on all of the circles in all of these schematics refer to various different planes. And in fact, I'll even give you, because it was above 20, I will even say that you notice in all of the schematics, one of the circles is labeled MAT, probably for material plane.
Okay, I thought maybe, I mean, I thought like Squiddle did, these were summoning circles. They might be teleportation or, oh goodness, what did my summoner call it? Plane shift? Oh,
Are
boy.
any of the initials starting with a P?
With a P. Hang on, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Or an S?
It is a great question. And I thought I had most of them committed to memory, but yeah, an S, I'm almost certain, yes. Sorry, I really should have had this open because this was obviously going to come up. Okay, here we go. Do any of, yes, yes. Sometimes there are circles that have a P in them. What was the other one? S?
S.
S does not come up, actually.
And the circles that
Oh,
have
oh,
P,
I'm
it just
sorry.
has that one letter?
Yes, I'm gonna, yes. The letter that you were looking for, and Squiddle would know this, is O.
Oh,
I'll send you a
Oh.
message. I'll send you a message.
Okay.
okay.
So yes, there is a plane. There is a one with a P. There's one with an O. There are no with S.
My head hurts.
Mine too, and I can kind of read that.
I can't.
Really?
Well, I mean, the notes are in common. It's just the scribbling doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I mean, Scotty,
Huh?
you said Pest did magic, but in his previous form was allergic to the magic. But he
Mhm.
definitely does magic, right?
I think I saw him do magic once.
What did he
Wait.
do?
When we
What kind of
first met, we just screamed at each other for like 5 minutes. But then I think he did some magic
What kind of
with
magic?
God. I don't.
Oh, Gale.
Huh? Yes.
Okay.
There was magic, but he got like those like reverse sneezes afterwards because he was like, and it lasted for like 10 minutes, and I forgot what he did because I felt so bad for him.
Hmm.
Scotty
Okay.
just stares at you. Like,
Well, I mean, these drawings look like magic, and what was in there was magic, and it looks like these are, I don't know if they're portals or maps or something to other planes, but it always seems to like come down to 4 circles. And I don't like how many of us there just happen to conveniently be right now.
mm-mm.
Sorry, us. I wasn't including you. You're kind of like the plus half one.
You're the bonus.
Us, you make me whole. I'm like 3/4 of a familiar without you.
He falls over backwards off of your shoulder. So touched is he, and then comes scrambling back up.
Yeah, I think Squiddle catches them with their wing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love that.
Puts them back
Aw.
on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And,
Um.
oh,
What kinds of things would Pest be into? We have
Oh,
no
I don't think
idea.
I want to know that.
Yeah. Just to be very clear with everyone watching and who is here tonight, also in Scotty's defense, Scotty was a guest on season 2 and only got to know Pest for a very brief time.
We didn't
So-
even have any fights. I don't
No,
think
we really
had-
didn't. We just had our weird meeting, but other than so just to be clear, like, yes, Scotty
Okay.
is a forgetful little pupper, but also did not spend very much time with Pest.
I really think that all I ever saw Pest do was prestidigitation
And sneeze.
okay.
and reverse sneeze. It's very important that you know it's the backwards kind.
Disco,
I
did you have some?
guess-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm Scotty is just they're looking at all this thing that involves thinking.
Reading.
And
Yeah.
Scotty is going to just start doing his sniff check around the
Okay.
rest of the room just
Okay.
to see.
Go ahead and make that roll for me, and I will check in with you, Scotty, in a moment. Disco?
No, Disco's kind of like going over and muttering, like, okay, so he said whatever he was doing was important, and he was talking about familiars and summoners, but he also said that we couldn't leave or interfere until he was done. I don't know. This doesn't seem right. Or at the very least, it doesn't seem safe.
I think he's trying to hide something.
Mm-hmm.
He had this room like locked behind 2 guards and another door.
Well, I
He's
mean,
definitely trying to hide something here.
to be fair, he did say he would take us here in the morning. What time is it, by the way?
Oh, what time is it?
I didn't even think of that.
It is maybe an hour or a little bit more before dawn, so it's still night, but it's the timer is a ticking. Scotty, as they're having this conversation and you're sniffing around, you get a very particular 16, right, for your investigation?
16. Mhm.
Yeah. You pick up a very particular scent that brings to you memories of Wet Cat all over this room.
Oh boy.
All over this room. And to be clear, like, Pest in marionette form had a similar scent, right? So it's not that he was here as a cat. I don't want to start a plot line that doesn't exist.
Oh man, don't give Scotty that threat.
I know. So, he's been all over this room and has also relatively recently, like within the last, let's say 12 hours, walked from this room into that other doorway that you all have not checked out yet here. He also, Scotty, with the 16, I will say you can tell he spent most of his time sitting at the little writing desk. Like that's where his scent is the strongest.
Scotty will investigate the writing desk.
Oh, okay. Why don't you make another investigation check down there? And while you do
That would be a 9.
incredible, it's a desk that has writing on it sometimes.
I found his grocery list.
There are papers over there with writing, not drawings, mostly like full text pages. But that's really all you pick up over there. Squiddle, Misty, anything from you two in particular that you want to do here?
Are we still standing in our little circles doing all this talking? We've moved off the circle.
Yes, you've moved into this other office, Pest's office, the separate room.
Okay. So we're in the other room. We're in Pest's office. They're back here. We already heard what Disco is seeing.
Yeah.
We hear what Scotty is seeing. So there's a wall. There's a desk.
There's a desk with writing on it. There are some other papers on that workbench. There's those schematics that Disco checked out, plastered above the workbench, and then
Disco
the door.
checked those out.
Disco checked the ones on the wall up, yeah.
Okay, and this room has no more doors.
Has one other door into a space that you all where it goes.
One other door.
There's one more.
There's a door behind a door behind the door.
I mean, there's technically yes. There are also rooms attached to all those doors. But yes, I've never really thought about it. But a house is just a series of doors. Yes, you are correct.
Scotty, incidentally, for anybody who is paying attention to your most unique thinking member, is basically doing the Princess Bride fight reenactment that the prince does, like trying to retrace Pest's walking through the room.
Oh, I love that. That's very cute.
Like he's trying to figure out if there's like one place that Pest went to all the time, if there's one book he read a lot.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess make me, since you're checking this out, make me go ahead and do, and the last one was a 9. We'll do another check, another smell check.
5.
I mean, that desk, he really loved that desk. He just must have rubbed, never mind.
He loved it.
Yeah.
Is there any, okay, so the desk. The desk isn't
the
like
desk.
open.
No, I mean, it's mostly just it's really, to call it a desk, it's really just a table. It does have papers all over it.
Oh, can we look at those papers?
Sure you can, yeah.
Okay. Missy, she just gonna like, I guess, blow the papers apart because she can't turn the pages.
Very funny. So at a quick glance, these seem to be like experiment logs or like reports of things. Why don't you make me an investigation check for like a quick cursory scan of what's in here?
Yeah, that's a 5.
Yeah, I mean, they're experiment logs, that much. I mean, if you want to spend longer reading them, you can. I mean, that's not, you don't need an investigate check for that.
Yeah.
This is just at a quick glance.
Can I use
their
Lucky
logs.
to re-roll my investigation?
It's a mess.
You guys are doing great. You're doing great.
We've never
Well-
rolled this bad ever.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, I roll this bad all the time.
All right. 12, Scotty. I don't know. He goes through the door a lot too. I don't know.
The new door that we haven't gone through?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he goes here. I think we should go there.
Let's do it now before he wakes up and finds us here in his private space that he told us not to go to until the morning.
I do think we need to hurry up. But hold on, give me 1 second because I think I recognized it. There's like this O here. You see Squiddle levitate up to this parchment paper that's on the wall.
Uh-huh.
using both brain cells to the best of her ability. You just see the little light flickering above her head. When they fed me that brain, I had a vision of a place where they don't allow gods or deities, and it was called Sigil, which was in the Outlands. I don't think it's very fair that they don't allow gods or deities.
Well, that's
Really?
not. Gale can't be there, so.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Me. Okay.
Squiddle
And
is
Scotty gets up and gums the heck
terrifying.
out of the doorknob. Just
Gums the heck out of the doorknob. All right.
Slobber everywhere.
Squiddle, I don't know how your companions feel about you, but you terrify me and I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Gums, us pushes, gives you a little shove to get the momentum going, and you open up this next door, and as you open it up, you see several things. You see very clearly that this room is circular and very large, and is a larger scale version of what you saw in the other chambers. There are runes etched into enormous circles in this room. The other thing that you see is that there are people in here standing in various points of these circles. In the very center, actually, we'll do that last. On the very outside, right by where you all came in, there is a shining golden goat standing in the outermost circle. Across from the goat, also in the outermost circle, stands that creature that Pest introduced you to when you first arrived here. Dee Dee stands also in the outermost circle across from the goat. In the next circle in stands Pest.
Uh-oh.
The next circle in from there, coiled almost as if in a circle so that his tail rests upon his nose, is Thembo. And standing in the very, very center of this entire thing, appearing to be sort of held aloft by some sort of magic because they seem to be unconscious or dead, is the unmistakable figure of a red wizard of Thay. And that is where we're going to take a brief little break. We're going to keep it to a tight 5 because of these faces that surround me. We want to resolve. It is not Hans. So we're going to keep a tight 5 break. We will be back very shortly. We're a little bit before halfway, but we got things to do. So enjoy your break. Take care of yourselves. We'll be back in 5. See you soon.
Bye.
We're back. Our final stretch. Let's jump right back in. You all have opened the door onto an experiment chamber, a magical chamber with 4 concentric circles, 5 beings standing at various points in various circles, including this lovely trio here before me, and a golden goat and a red and unconscious or potentially dead red wizard of Thay, sort of suspended upright in the very center of it all. And Pests turns to you all and says, yes, well, if you're going to break in, just let us finish first, would you?
Scotty goes, "You don't see us. We're not here."
Bye.
And he's hoping it worked. It did not work.
There is a moment where Pest just sort of stares blankly, and you think perhaps he has been fooled, and then he says, "No, I can."
Oh. Okay, then. It was worth a try.
I'm sorry. You know how curious we are. You tell us not to go into somewhere, and we're gonna have to go. I apologize. We can go.
Yeah, y'all are like clearly in the middle of something, and we didn't mean to like break in. Y'all could just like, we'll go back to our room. Y'all can come get us when you're finished. How about that?
Yeah, we definitely didn't see you standing here casting illegal spells and things you're not supposed to be doing.
All
We
right,
didn't
well, I
see
was
any-
gonna roll. I was gonna roll an
Mistake.
inside check, but that was helpful. Pest says, he says, "Now, I know how this is going to sound, I promise I don't mean for it to be as threatening as it sounds, but why don't you stay and watch on second thought? And he waves towards the door, and a vine pops out of the ground on the other side of the door and pushes it shut. And little vines grow up around the base of the door, sort of holding it shut. Behind you all.
Using that telepathic speech.
Mm-hmm.
Misty, I got a really bad feeling about this. Do you think that now would be a good time to use that pebble you gave me?
Oh my god.
If you're looking at Misty, she sort of all of a sudden goes like this.
That is... It is a good thing that everyone else in this room that is not you all is focused very hard on something else, because that was horrifying.
Yes.
Okay, just real quick though, is this gonna kill anyone? What does this do?
What a good
There's
question.
a thing called collateral damage. Do we have flashcards for Scotty?
Hang on, I need to...
I think I have one here called acceptable losses.
It's
He asked
close.
us to stay, and there's not even a couch or chairs in here. I don't believe this, y'all. I mean,
There's not
just-
even drinks.
It's really
Uh-uh.
inhospitable.
really.
It's...
I mean, I've
Yeah.
got some vials here,
Hidden
Disco,
link.
but I don't think you want them.
Are you going to
Oh.
introduce us to the goat? Because he's very shiny.
Pest at this point has...
I timed that one well,
No.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pest at this point has stopped paying attention to you all, and is spell casting. The runes in the floor, etched in the floor, have begun to sort of light up sporadically around the room more and more every second. So he does not answer your question about the goat. Also, the goat seems quite focused on Pest. Yes, Disco?
Disco, you have a question mark on all of your fractals.
On every single one of them. So good.
Disco's trying to observe and like wants to see what's going to happen, but is very unsure that they should wait.
Ah, gotcha. Sure.
Guess we'll just watch then. I don't know.
Sure. All right.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Pat, is this what you were going to show us when we woke up in the morning? Or did we interrupt something that we should not be seeing?
Okay, he's gonna try to answer it. I'm gonna make a concentration check for him. Okay, well, apparently I saved all my good rolls for this episode. So Pest continues to move his creepy little marionette hands in time with this spell, but his one good eye like flicks over to you, Misty, and he says, "Well, I hope to finish this trial run before you all were down here, but this will be fine." And continues casting.
In the telepathic speech, Scotty goes, I don't think any of this is fine.
I don't
More-
think so either.
More of the sigils continue to light up. At this point, the entirety of the outermost circle of sigils is completely lit up. There are still 3 more to go. You got time.
In the telepathic voice to everyone, Missy's gonna go, Scotty,
What?
can you hear me? I hope you can, because it's
Yeah.
Misty on your head right now.
I know, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. There's a reason why Gail wanted you to find us to help you find Pest.
Oh, is there?
There was, obviously, right? There had to be a real reason.
I mean, there
It's
was a
my-
letter, but I can't read.
I forgot.
Wait a minute, then how did you know how to find us?
I got teleported to Disco and Disco read the thing.
Oh, disco. Okay. Well, they're okay. Aside, there's a reason why Gail wanted you to connect us all to find Pest. And I think this is it.
That was very loud suddenly.
Sorry.
The outer twomost circles are completely lit up.
Do we just let them keep doing this?
I don't know. Maybe I could use my dagger to like scratch a hole in one of the circles. Doesn't that stop magic?
We have to stop this. Although I don't know what we're stopping.
I don't know
You
if
know
it's
what
a
I-
good
Very
thing.
succinct, Misty. It's very good.
But Misty, you just let me know. Like, should I can stop it. I got
You
this
do
pebble.
realize
I don't know what it does, but
The third circle is complete.
Oh, God.
There's
I
one
think
more
we
left.
should just
I
do,
think we should just do something because
throw,
well,
do
It's
the
awesome.
pebble,
You know.
whatever the pebble is. Just do the
Do it.
pebble.
we can
Okay,
always
so
it's
Squid's
also
gonna throw
gonna
the pebble.
release her dad.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
and it's wall of water,
Uh-huh.
and
Mhm.
she wants the wall of water to form a ring around the innermost circle so
Oh,
that they
okay.
cannot get to it.
Around the innermost circle. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a series of very specific questions,
Okay.
and
Okay.
don't
I'm
worry
ready.
about it.
Oh, I just wanted to throw in there really quick that
Yeah.
the little dude, he's in there too.
Oh,
Remember the
oh,
dude
yeah.
being pasties in there?
Oh,
Dad,
yeah.
not dad
So-
is in there.
Dad,
Wait,
not
who?
dad. Dad,
No,
not
there's
dad.
like a dead
Oh,
bloated.
Dead with the
No.
Soggy
tentacles
red
and the-
wizard?
yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, did you just dump a giant tentacly thing on?
That's why I'm going to ask you a series of specific questions that don't matter. First question. Okay, so
Okay.
you want this wall of water to be in a circle around the innermost ring. Do you put it outside of, on top of, or inside of that ring of sigils?
Outside. the
Okay, so you're
border,
cutting off outside the border.
cutting off
Perfect.
access
Great.
to that ring. Yeah.
And when that happens, I assume, and this is up to us, but I assume that Daddy Not Daddy, being in the center of the pearl, will appear then in the center of the circles. Feels
Fantastic.
okay, great.
Totally
those
planned
are,
on that. Yep.
yeah,
Good job.
those are
Good job,
excellent
Squirtle.
answers that I love. And that is what happens. And you watch Pest like try. You can kind of still see a little bit of the glow on the other side of the water, right on the ground. And you can see Pest like trying real hard to concentrate and keep casting. And the final sigil flickers and flares. And then everything goes out, and Pest swears like a damned sailor.
So, are there two unconscious wizards in the center of this thing now?
Unconscious.
There are two bodies of humanoid-ish creatures crumpled in a heap on the ground inside of that circle of water. Yes.
Crumpled like
I mean,
graphical error or like pretzel?
I like that a lot. More
up.
graphical error, I guess.
Okay.
Just like well, no, I guess the Daddy Not Daddy is not inside of the Red Wizard in any way.
No
just
clipping.
sort of
Okay.
yeah, no clipping through each other, but just
Okay.
just sort of knocked in a heap. Neither seems to be moving, for whatever that's worth.
I
Now
can
what?
provide defibrillation if needed.
Pest is going to. He's gonna try something. It's a Wall of Water is a 3rd level spell. Great. So Pest is going to angrily just look over, and he takes his needle and like stamps it on the ground, and you see all of these little arcane etchings sort of light up and down the needle, and he spits out a probably unnecessarily loud incantation, and dispels the Wall of Water. And
Can
he, uh-huh.
can Squidtle counterspell that?
Yes, absolutely. Squidtle
I'll
could
do that.
Yeah, I don't think Pest has counterspell to counter your counters, so yeah,
Oh
that
my
works.
gosh.
Excellent.
Very nicely done.
Yes.
Not
Uh,
nope his nope.
Pest
Nope.
looks deeply annoyed and turns back and says, "Listen,
Calm emotions.
Oh boy. All right. What is that? A charisma or wisdom save? I don't remember.
Oh God.
I love it. I love it.
Charisma 12.
Oh. Okay. Let me go look up Pest's character sheet, which I don't believe has a particularly high charisma, but let's see.
I know he didn't when he was a wet cat.
Yeah, it's probably not that bad anymore, but I don't imagine it's very good. Okay. Could be worse. Could be better.
Could be
It's
raining.
16.
They succeed.
Okay. So Pest sort of glares at you, Squiddle, and says, just like your mother.
I don't like the way you said that.
In a good way, in a good way. You're curious and determined and rather impulsive.
Well,
All
that's
right.
true. Hey, Pest, I got
Yes.
a question. Are you on our side?
Can I answer that question with a question? What do you all think I'm doing here?
Scotty raises a paw very quickly in the air.
Okay, and it tips him over a little bit, and then he rights himself.
Yep,
Uh,
100%.
Yep.
Are you
Scotty?
planning to overthrow the government?
No.
Oh.
Misty. Oh, this has become like a classroom setting. I kind of like it.
Misty doesn't
Misty.
have arms to raise.
Yeah, but
What
she,
do you-
one ear sort of
very
went.
intrigued. A very
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah.
They're not trying to engineer some version of a takeover. You're trying to make us stronger than even the summoners. You want
closer?
familiars to be. Oh,
You're getting warmer. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Mm-hmm.
you want us
Uh-huh.
to be the summoners, and for the summoners to be the familiars.
Interesting concept, but no, we've gotten cold again.
Oh no, I don't want to give you ideas.
Are you looking for a way to make us stay here permanently and not die?
Mm. Closer, closer.
I'm gonna go introduce myself to the goat.
Oh, okay.
And Scotty just trots over the goat. Mostly because I want Eugenio to have to do that. Yeah.
Are you trying to break the weird paracausal metaphysical ties that connect summoners to familiars?
Pest's smile becomes absolutely frozen.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's
and
not.
that's
It's
Misty's thing.
this
Yeah.
here. It's just all that. And he, Misty style, sort of over to Disco and just says, "Yes, yes, I am." And I didn't think anyone would ever be able to express it so specifically and succinctly, but yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. We shouldn't have to come at their beck and call. We shouldn't have to do what they say. We shouldn't have to be erased when they screw up.
Detect thoughts.
Everything that comes out of his mouth is in his head about 10 times louder a split second before he says it.
Oh, I love a good evil inner monologue. That's so good.
He is absolutely genuine, and this is exactly what he means. And so all we're gonna do here is, well, what you said, but that sort of precision severing is, well, and none of you know Pest well enough to understand it at all, but Pest looks really, really sad for a moment, which is probably equal parts sad and creepy in his current form, but he looks really sad, and he says, requires an amount of magical energy that is unethical to achieve. So we use a slightly broader approach. If we cannot be summoned in the first place, we cannot be subject to our summoner's will.
But if they don't summon us, then do we even exist?
That's the beauty of it. We, you, my friends from my first adventure, We are different. We are not like most familiars. Most familiars could not have gotten here like you all did. Have you never noticed? So often, when we're brought into the material plane, we are the bestial servants of our summoners. But we have learned magic and stealth, as he looks at Scotty. And
Scotty's still
combat.
introducing himself to the goat.
And he very quickly moves on and says, and combat, and looks at Misty. We are more, and yet we are still beholden to them. No more. We can choose. He turns this time to Squiddle and says, you know, I think something of the plane shift. It is magic that our summoners can attain. I see no reason that we can't as well. We can choose when to come here. But to do that, we must make it impossible to be summoned. And I will tell you the truth. If we do this, each plane we sever, nothing, not just familiars, no aid, nothing, will be forcibly pulled from them ever again.
And we'll have control over who gets summoned where?
In a sense, until we can teach more, everyone, I guess, to shift, to plane shift, or establish, to be honest, I hadn't thought this far ahead. I just knew that we had to stop being beholden to them. I don't intend to hold tight to the doors between planes. That should be free to anyone who lives in those planes to come and go as they please. And anyone from the material plane who wishes to visit our planes can still do so. But calling us against our will, forcing us to arrive and to act, no more. No more.
Can you give us a minute to do a little? We need to have a caucus for a minute. Hold on. And she's gonna beckon for you guys to bend over. Come here for a second.
Okay. Scotty comes over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. What Hess is saying, I mean, I get it. There's a part of me that understands that he wants to be free. But what we are is familiars, and what we do is important. The summoners, they know that they're nothing without us, and we know they're nothing without us. So I see what we do is incredibly important to their success.
Do you think that we should go ahead and let them finish the spell?
But what he's proposing is that I guess the summoners can't do what they're supposed to do. And then in that way, we won't be doing what we are born to do. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want that anymore. So I understand what he means, wanting to be free and but there's a difference between summoners and familiars, and both are equally as important.
You know, Misty, you got me thinking. You know
What?
how you always want to make your family happy, right? And your family,
Yes.
the only way to make them happy is by violence and by killing.
Yeah, everybody's gotta die.
So, you know that thing I was saying earlier about Sigil and them not allowing gods and deities in there?
Yeah? What do you think?
Well, I thought one way I could impress my daddy and maybe earn his love and affection is by somehow inviting him into Sigil. And
Do you think?
I think this might be his ticket there. So if we let Pest finish this spell, we as familiars have control. And then I can form the loving bond with my daddy like I always wanted. I think he'll be really happy. And then he can invite his friends there too, because then we can teach him how to plane shift.
You have question marks on your fractals again.
I'm
Disco.
sorry, it's my tail. That's why I don't play cards. I just wonder, is it right to take away the choice for? I mean, he's talking about stopping summoners from summoning familiars. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had odd lives, but they've led us to this moment. They've led us to be more than we are. Does he have the right to take that choice away from other familiars before they have a chance to
No.
be anything?
Exactly, Disco. I think we are incredibly important to their success. Without us, they're just summoners. They need us. And I think that's important. It's not like we don't get to retain our identity when they summon us.
I think
Scotty?
that this might be a good idea for people, familiars like Squiddle and Disco and even you, Misty. But there's also a lot of familiars like me, and we do good work, but we're not that smart. And he said that they're going to make decisions for us if we don't know how to plane shift.
That's a problem, Scotty. You're absolutely right. I mean, I like Pest. I think he's really
Why?
interesting.
You do?
No, I don't. I'm trying to be nice.
Honestly,
Oh,
doesn't
manners. I did teach you something after all.
doesn't what he's saying, like, he's upset and mad that we're dependent on them to call us, but really he's just doing the same thing with different words.
He wants to be the orchestrator of it.
Yeah.
There's a madness in him that I recognize in myself.
I don't think I like this.
So, Squiddle, if you ask your dad to come, do you think he will come? And then afterwards, do you think he will go? Because I have a feeling he's going to scare the crap out of me. I like that.
I think if the offering is large enough, I think he will come. I don't know if he will leave, but I know he will come.
What kind of offering does he need?
I'm concerned about your vocabulary choice.
Well, the vision that I had made Sigil seem like a really exclusive club, and I just thought that Daddy would like to be invited. That's all. It seems like a place he's never been before. And he's been everywhere.
I think it's time we met your father. We can do through the pet.
Dear Lord.
Oh no.
Well, what do you think about that, Scotty? You don't need a summoner to make up your mind for you.
No.
You can learn on your own, and you can always lean on us to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But how will I know where any of you are?
We'll always be able to find each other.
I won't know how to get home either.
I think all we have to do is learn how to use these things and plane shift.
Mhm.
And then we can see each other anytime we want.
Yes. Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think it's right because I really feel like somehow it's going to end up with a group of people who think they can make the best decisions for the ones who can't immediately do the thing.
And he already said he hadn't even thought that far ahead than this. So how
Well.
complete do you think that plan is? Shut up. You're not here. Shut up.
I mean, it was a fair point. He really didn't, but
He hadn't even thought that far ahead. I mean, I love the idea of breaking into an exclusive club because that's just mean.
Mhm.
I just don't. I mean, I agree with Misty that I don't think the summoner familiar partnership is something that's ready to be ruined forever.
Just because there's some summoners that aren't nice. I mean, I'm all for finding them and like making them know that that's not good with my knife, but also there's a lot that are good. And also, he said that nothing else will come. And honestly, the people who live here get in trouble all the time. And if they can't call like their friends from the other, they're gonna be it's a problem.
You bring up a good point, Scotty. Maybe what we can do instead is like, make sure that, I don't know, make it where summoners, they can still summon us, but the relationship has to be made better. I mean, I'm a new familiar entirely. So I've had some amazing experiences. I guess I just haven't had the bad ones yet, but maybe there has to be some sort of, I don't know, ruling for how summoners treat familiars if there's been bad ones. It sounds like Pest has had some really bad ones.
Yeah. I mean, we could maybe make some kind of union that we could join. To like make rules, but how are we gonna make them follow the rules?
We're
This
also
is a
assuming
lot of thinking for me in one day.
you're doing good though, Scotty.
So
Really good.
good.
You can smell the burning.
Well,
It's itching. It's burning.
Horrendous.
Also, I just had a weird thought.
Is it Jermaine? Go ahead.
What if Pest has never had a bad experience with a summoner at all? What if Pest is just power hungry in general?
That is what Marvel said.
see, I feel like we should stop Pest, even though he has brought up a very good thought and perhaps a bigger conversation is warranted, but I don't think the simple solution that he is proposing is the way to go.
Like, does it have to be like all or nothing? Like, could Pest just allow familiars to plane shift without permission from their summoners?
Just because things can get lost in translation here on Zoom and the internet, that is actually exactly Pest's plan.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, choices?
That anyone who can plane shift or can ask someone who can plane shift, right, can go between planes. His thing about the plane shifting was that it might take some time to teach more familiars, because it seems that adventurer familiars are still fairly new and fairly few. But yeah, he doesn't have, and I wanted to let you all play it out because it's all fine, but he doesn't have any real intention of like controlling the interplanar travel
You
other
would say
than making
that.
it, well, yes, but other than making it impossible for material plane humanoids to forcibly summon from any other plane that familiars come from.
Wow.
thank you.
And we're at the center of this decision. Why were we chosen?
Well, no, not
to-
really. I mean, you could just choose to not do anything and let him do it.
Little very
Gonna
much wants to
real.
lose concentration on this wall of
Go
water.
back to
Yeah.
the room.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
So it's more like ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Permission, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I kind of want to let Pest finish his work. What do we say?
I say that if Marvel was scared of what he's doing, everybody should be scared of what he's doing, because Marvel is literally the worst person.
Is he? I'm sorry, I missed him. I only passed him in passing in the portal.
Oh,
remember,
he's
I didn't.
terrible.
Oh, right. That's
I
right.
didn't get to meet him. Yeah.
He's terrible,
Poor Marvel.
but he's honest when he
Yeah.
wants to be.
I liked Marvel.
And he looked really
He's one of my
scared.
best friends now, even though he really doesn't like to make new friends.
He really doesn't.
Really? Yeah, he's the one who told me that I think one of you smelled like a cat and lipstick. Cat and lipstick? Cataclysm. Yeah, cat and lipstick.
he said I smelled cataclysmic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's no cats and no lipstick then. Okay.
No,
That's fine.
I don't.
Something about putting lipstick on a pig or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pest at this point, sort of unconsciously, because y'all aren't looking at him, but he does raise his hand and then sort of calls out, can I maybe finish my spell now?
Yeah, so there's we really want to let you finish, but there are some
Oh.
concerns from the familiars
I'm
here.
allergic to it.
We don't necessarily want to cut ties with our summoners. We just want this to be a way for us to freely move from plane to plane.
And Pest sort of nods and says, I have I know that there are good summoners out there.
Mhm.
And I don't intend to, I don't mean to keep good summoners from familiars. I just don't ever want any of us to have to come here again. So yeah, familiar spirits can still come. I'm sure that infrastructure will eventually be put in place to match those familiar spirits who choose to come here with summoners looking for familiars. I, again, didn't really
Really
think
have not
about that
gotten
part.
this. No.
Nope. Good intentions, and the follow-through was their problem.
I have one more question, Pest.
I'm ready, Scotty. Hopefully I can answer it a little better
Is
than
the
that
guy
last
in the middle of the circle dead?
One of
Pest
them
for the first time remembers that situation since Squiddle dropped to the wall of water and looks over and goes, "Oh, right. Well, I don't know about the friend that your friend brought, but the Red Wizard, no. Although I'm not really sure anymore." And he
Because,
sort of
like, I just follow-up question here. I just my train of thought is very linear, so I'm not really.
I see that, yeah.
If you have to do this and kill that guy, because I really think you probably killed that guy.
Oh, he doesn't have to die.
Uh,
She doesn't have to die, actually, as a woman. She's just standing in for humanoid kind. Well, humanoid kind on the material plane, I suppose, specifically.
I'm just a little concerned that when you implement this on a large scale, you're going to hurt a lot of humanoids.
No, there has been no indication in any of my research or test experiments here, except for that one, but we fixed that anyone should be hurt in this process. That anyone outside of the ritual should be hurt in this process. There is, and I should have mentioned this sooner, and I realized that, and I genuinely, it slipped my mind. We have calculated it at approximately a 5% chance that any given stand-in the ritual, because I'm the Feywild, and he points at Dee Dee and he says, and Dee Dee is the Abyss, one of the fiendish planes that familiars come from. He points to the goat, and our friend here is from Mount Celestia, and then he points and he points at Thembershud and says, and our friend Thembo over here plays a very important role as our anchor to the material plane. And so there is a small percent chance that any representative of a plane might be forever severed and unable to return to that plane ever again. But everyone who is here today, except for the Red Wizard, but they don't count, is here because they want to be. That includes who gave his enthusiastic consent. Isn't that right? And the goat goes. It is a risk that these 4 individuals are willing to take.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know, it's an idea. Maybe there's some sort of an Uber rating we can assign to every summoner. If a summoner isn't a good one, people don't have to go with him. I don't know.
This is a great. I mean, listen, that is as good idea as I have heard about the infrastructure to follow. You know what I mean? That's. I mean, we're at the brainstorming phase. That's great.
Yeah, like a social credit score.
Yeah, I mean,
So if the summoner's bad, I'm not
I
coming
do
to get
feel
you.
like I saw a play about a dark reflective surface that like didn't go well when they tried that. But anyway, yeah, we. I mean, it's brainstorming phase.
I'm just pointing out that for Squiddle, it's always the brainstorming phase.
Well, good, very good.
That's good.
Get out.
This
game's over.
Very good.
Well
very
played,
good, very
Kelly.
Good. Very good. Very good.
Well,
Also, that was totally Scotty. He did say that out loud.
Perfect. Good. Yes. Excellent. And there's just sort of everyone in the room sort of turns to nod respectfully at Scotty for that one. Yeah.
so
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I am very bad with decisions.
So what's the story with the red wizard that's not expired?
Oh, well, just like we need stand-ins for the planes, we need a symbolic stand-in for, well, the things that are going to be severed from non-consensual summoning.
Well, why them? Why not another red wizard?
Well, I lost my temper a little bit, and anyway, she was my host here at first, and then I, realized that I wasn't working on a big enough scale. She wanted to take control of my project, and that's when I decided that my original plan to do this on an individual level just wasn't enough. That in fact, we should all be given the choice. And I thought it fitting that since she was the one that made me realize the necessity for a grander scale, she should be the stand-in. Nothing bad will happen to her, except for that 5% chance that she gets severed from the material plane forever. And I don't actually know what would happen to her if that
It's just
happens.
5%.
Right, exactly.
not to mention that she's folded up and crumpled with like an undead something in the middle of the room.
It's not great for her, I don't imagine.
And she's
At the
just
very
like a
least, it must
stand-in.
smell.
She's just a stand-in. There's not some sort of evil residual energy that's going to take in that we should take into account.
Pest actually looks kind of thoughtful about that for a minute and says, well, to be honest, I hadn't thought about it.
You
mean
hadn't thought about the consequences of severing a magical bond? Where's that energy gonna go?
Well, no, I mean that I have, and he points up, and there is in the ceiling there is like a sort of crystal rod that goes up into the ceiling, and he says, "Well, that should take care of the energy." But what I hadn't thought about was those tattoos. And he sort of looks over, and like any red wizard, this woman is bald and tattooed all over with the symbols of her school, which happens to be Conjuration. And he goes, I don't know if those would have. I don't think they should have any effect. I mean, they're not on her feet, and so none of them were touching any of the sigils here, so it shouldn't. He's just he's the lady with the calculations face,
I'm
right? He's just trying to
Pest, that you have planned this as well as I would.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Well, let's see.
I'm concerned.
Okay. He like pauses for a moment and turns and he says, "Well, I think it's a fairly complex plan. And what I'm focusing on is making sure that none of us are ever mistreated again. And yeah, there's some parts at the end that I haven't really thought all the way through, but I'm sure that the humanoids here on the material plane will sort it out. And if they don't, that feels very much like a them problem."
If you have to do something bad to people in order to convince yourself you're doing good, I don't think you're doing good.
He says, "But what bad have I done? I haven't done any bad." Well, I mean, okay, she's here a little bit against her will for right now, but she'll be fine.
like he's fighting for familiars' rights, sort of, but in
Yes.
like a really radical
But he's
way.
taking.
Well,
but
yes.
He's taken the choice of those rights all under his own decision. He's not giving anybody else a say in it.
Well, no, I'm just giving us a choice in it. Right?
You're
Well-
upsetting the entire framework of how we exist,
I don't know what's gonna
and
happen.
you haven't discussed that with anyone. Did you just have a bad day or something?
I mean, I talked to Dee Dee about it. Dee Dee one of Dee Dee's heads roars a little bit.
Oh.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, I get it. But still, anybody else?
Well,
What if you
no.
sever the bond and then the familiar was someplace they didn't know at the time?
well, they'll find their way back. We're resilient.
So, getting back to these tattoos on the red wizard, how do we
Yeah.
know if when Pest completes the spell and it lights everyone up and these tattoos have some kind of effect, a bad effect?
Well, I mean, we would have to analyze all of the tattoos, which you're right, I probably should have done in the first place.
I
So,
can help. I read Thayan. Thayan.
Pez just sort of nods absently, lost in thought, and he'll regret that assent later, I'm sure. Just says, I suppose we could also, we could, I suppose, find another. There aren't many humanoids around. Sort of made sure of that. Okay, we
I mean,
can.
I think it's
That-
fine if
I
you
No,
keep
I
them.
just.
What
Oh,
you
it's the
just
form. I say everything as creepy as possible. I just mean I made them leave.
Uh-huh.
He says, but like he's still got that awful
Yeah, I know.
smile on him, so it's hard to, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Saying, how
It's
about
hard to
this? We're
tell.
not saying no. We're just saying it needs a little more work.
Unless you can like dispel magic if they are in fact magical tattoos.
Oh,
I do love how like some of us are basically saying maybe we shouldn't go through this plan while Squiddle is mostly concerned about whether the Thayan wizard skin is going to explode after
is
this
gonna
It's,
screw
happens.
it up.
it's because I really want the
love
spell
it.
to work.
I
and
love it.
want to find a way.
Hess says, "Oh, that's actually a great idea. Can any of you?" And he looks at all of you. Can any of you detect magic?
I
Scroll,
can only
scroll,
detect
scroll.
I was gonna say, and you can hear the scrolling.
Yeah.
I finished very quickly. I can't.
You cannot. Okay, it's really Disco and Squiddle would be the ones are most likely.
Darn it.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
He says, okay, that's okay. I can probably, I mean, I can. Oh, I know. Who's here in the room with him? Thembershank is not going to go do it. And Dee Dee is not going to do it. So he'll say, hold on a second. And he's going to start, very absently, just start running towards his office. And he'll be in there for just a few seconds, and he comes back out holding a rolled up parchment, and he unrolls it, and you all can, at a glance, you can tell it's a spell scroll of some sort. And so he says, okay, great, give me just a second. And he begins to cast, and a little ways into the incantation, the scroll starts to smolder, and then again, sort of like flash paper, whoosh, just goes up as the spell is cast. And he stares real hard at the Thayan for like 2 minutes. It's like a long time. And finally he says, okay, we're good.
You did it?
There's a lot of magic in there, but none of it should interact. It's all sort of empowerment for her conjuration, which has nothing to do with what we're doing here. Mostly in any way that matters, and some of it is actually her name, and some of it is, and just sort of goes on this whole list of things.
Wait a minute. She has her own name tattooed on her?
Well, sort of in the Thayan glyph
Oh.
language. It's all very complex.
Scotty takes a look over there. He says, here it says live, laugh, love.
Of course
Oh
it
my
does.
God.
That is not
Is
a
there an
fan name,
infinity
Scotty.
symbol too?
But he seems confident enough that the tattoos won't interact.
Squiddle's arm is getting weaker and weaker as her will reduces,
Yeah.
I just
holding up
forgot-
this wall of water.
Oh, we got him to stop casting at least for a minute.
Yeah.
I think that we've raised a lot of good questions that possibly Pest wasn't prepared to answer because he didn't think that we would think of those kind of questions.
I mean, I think I've answered most of the questions that I have concerns about.
Really well, but I still think that your project needs a little more workshopping. Just a little more. And until then, I'll make you a deal. If somebody summons you that's awful, you can summon me and I will go bite them on their butt.
Scotty, make me a
Uh-oh.
persuasion check.
Oh no.
Can you imagine someone summoning Pest and getting like 5 familiars out of nowhere?
They just keep coming. They
There was a
just keep
sale.
coming.
That was a 16.
Okay.
I will use my last lucky for
Okay.
this just in case.
Okay.
Probably not. Oh, 28.
Oh, okay. What I had a DC. What was it to change Pest's mind?
Mhm.
And I had a bunch of different ones. Okay. Hang on. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this.
I don't really think you look like a wet cat.
Hmm? Oh,
That's
God.
not fair.
Come on.
Come on.
Two of you can do it without natural 20s. I just want you to know.
It was so good. For
Uh,
a brief shining moment.
In case you're listening to this and not actually watching, I just showed the cast my notebook where I had DC 30 persuasion written.
And I
Dang it.
Oh.
Because
That's
Pest
rough.
Pest is pretty committed for, his own reasons. But he says, I disagree. I think that no one will be actively harmed, except for a 5% chance that she will. And you know what? And I take responsibility for that.
Really
as
fine.
long as you own it,
I can do that. I think that's also important as the person doing the whole thing.
Does the Universal Coalition of Summoners agree with what you're doing?
Pest goes, wait, does that exist? Because if so, that's super helpful to this whole thing. Because that's just going to make everything that happens after much faster. If they're already organized, that's great. I mean, organizing the shifting back and forth and the, consensual assignment of familiars.
I'm surprised this was never discussed before.
Are you?
You know what I mean? When this was set up,
Oh, you mean in general, like in the history of familiar
Yes.
summoning? Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I agree with you, Misty. What humanoid summoner decided it was cool to just call us from our homes and give us orders whenever they decide they need a little magical help? Sorry, I got excited again.
There's
You
also
feel very
snacks.
strongly about this.
you've been a familiar for a long time, haven't you, Pest?
Pest, again, sort of gets, it's not so sad this time, but it's a little bit of a faraway look and just sort of nods.
My mom killed your professor.
What?
Is that why you're so mad?
So for the second time in 35 minutes, you all have stunned Pest into absolute silence and motionlessness.
I was trying to remember what my mom said about Pest. She told me stories.
What?
And he looks up at you, Squiddle, and he just shakes his head and says, "No,
No?
your mom was the beginning of me opening my eyes.
Oh.
She did a great
Oh,
service.
she has a
because-
tendency of doing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was upset with her for a really long time for doing that. Because yes, you're right, Squiddle. She did kill my last summoner. But she freed me from him I had started to change. I had started to learn magic from watching his research. And I just didn't know that I could be free. And I was so dedicated to him that I didn't realize the power he had over me. And
Is
then...
it possible that we all just have Stockholm syndrome with our summoners?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
He says, "Well, I don't know. I think Gale and Mugen, friends of mine, I think they have had genuinely good summoners. I think Scotty, I think you've had genuinely good.
Oh yeah, no,
summoners."
they're great. I've only had the one though.
Oh, that's good. You should keep them.
I'm trying, but she's getting old.
Oh, no.
And that's part of the problem too, Scotty. Unless they screw up, we're around for a long time. We're all gonna have multiple summoners.
yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
How many minutes has it been since Squiddle threw the pebble?
Uh-oh.
Oh, good question. It has. Well, let's see. Everything that's happened so far, I would say it's been 10 to 15 minutes at this point. Maybe more. Uh-oh.
The
Oh my
wall
God,
of
that face.
waterfalls.
Oh
Oh
no!
my-
Yeah.
Megan's face just
I-
then.
To be honest, I had a feeling it was about the wall of water, but I didn't know if the duration of that spell was 10 minutes or an hour.
It was 10
so...
minutes. Like, I wanted
Okay.
it so bad, but then I got really scared for everybody else.
Scotty sees the water coming. He's like, Beth! No! He's like,
Bath! Oh no.
That's a good reaction to have.
Yeah.
So Pest says, I know maybe some of you are not convinced yet. And I get it. And I envy you who've had good summoners and only good summoners. You know, I watched someone else, someone who had the ability to summon familiars like us. I watched them summon familiar after familiar after familiar. And they used those familiars for energy. That's why I said the only way to have enough magical power to be surgically precise, like we talked about earlier, and not so broad with this severing, would require a lot of pain to a lot of familiars, and I've seen them do it. And I don't want that to happen anymore. So I'm gonna start this ritual again. And if you all can't let me finish it, I don't intend any of you any harm, but I'll do what I have to finish this ritual today. I hope that's okay. I think
I'm
you're
going
all
to let
pretty
you do what you
amazing.
need to do, Pest. But don't hurt any of my friends.
I don't want to.
No, you don't.
No. Oh. Even me, who is a terrifying marionette doll, had a little chill at that. Understood.
Good.
You have
That's-
in your mind, Pest, like the betterment of all familiars in mind, right?
I do, and like you said, I've been around a long time, and I know what I know what I'm doing. My eyes are open. I may not have thought about every eventuality, but I realize this is big. I get that. But I can't let it go on. I have to do this.
From the corner of the room, you just hear someone say, I liked you better when you were a screaming wet cat.
We're going to talk about that later, Scotty.
Yeah.
I was wet once, and it was before I met you.
Come at me.
Pest moves back over to the place where he started the ritual the first time.
Mhm.
And looks back at you all and says, I would recommend standing as close to the outer wall as you can. and begins to cast. And the outer circle begins to light up. Go ahead.
Missy's gonna send a telepathic to everyone. Let's keep an eye on this. Watch him carefully. I know Scotty still has a bad feeling. I know we're gonna get our butts kicked by idol champions for this.
What's that?
Wait, there are champions that are idle? How are they champions?
Well, I mean, they've been sitting around doing
Oh, is
nothing
that what
without
we
us.
call
They
it
don't
on
do
our
anything when
spa
we're not
day?
there.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
That's our spa days. Idol
We are the
champions.
idle champions.
That's very funny.
Look, all I'm saying is if this goes badly, we're going to beat the crap out of him.
Mhm.
I mean, okay, I'll allow it.
The outer ring is fully lit.
And if anything
There's-
funny happens with that red wizard, I got dibs.
I'm not watching.
There's still no chairs in here.
Squirrel's gonna cast fly on
Incredible.
Disco so he can rest
Yes.
his little feet.
Yes. As you do, the next ring, the second ring, is completely lit, and at that point, you see Dee Dee. You see one of Dee Dee's tentacles sort of shoot up and begin to move in a really weird, complex fashion, and then you see that undead thing, sopping thing from the water, float up and
Yeah.
out of the circles.
I was gonna wait and see if you
And and Dee Dee's tentacle goes over and like wipes sweat off of Pest's brow, and Pest nods at him thankfully
Aw.
as he continues to cast. And the third ring is illuminated.
let me know if the world ends.
Get ready, everybody.
And the fourth ring completes. And I actually, because there are 5 people involved in this ritual, and there are 5 of us, I need everyone, please, to roll percentile for me.
Oh no.
Hmm.
I will
God.
be rolling for the Red Wizard. Disco will be rolling for Pest. Misty will be rolling for the goat. Squiddle will be rolling. Sorry. Squiddle will roll for Dee Dee, and Scotty will roll for who's left, Thembo, I think.
Yeah, you're signing the ginger gets the red dragon.
Of course, of course. So, Squiddle, what'd you get?
52.
Okay. Misty?
How is this possible that I rolled a 5 with a percentile dice?
Oh wow,
okay.
that's
100.
even better. That is
I rolled
even
a
better
5.
than Scotty's roll. That's even better.
Disco, what did you get?
38.
Okay. Scotty?
69.
Incredible.
Nice.
Nice.
And I got a
Nice.
60 and I got a 66. Misty, who did I say you were rolling for?
A 5 with a percentile dice. There was...
And I
It
had
is
you rolling
pretty-
for the
yeah.
goat, right? I think I had you
Yeah.
rolling for the goat.
Oh,
All
no.
right.
Yeah.
My new friend.
Not mad.
Sorry.
So, the final center sigil, the last one, lights up, and this sort of bluish light from all of these runes on the floor shoots up like spotlights, floor to ceiling, creating these 4 rings of blue arcane light. And Pest continues through all this blue haze. You can still see him as he continues to cast, but now the words become the words and his somatic components become much sharper. And you watch as he turns to the goat and intones something and makes a slashing motion in the air, and half of the outer circle goes out, and the goat sort of collapses down, exhausted, not injured in any way, just very drained, collapses down to a couple of knees, and as it stands up, you can see the golden color drain from it until it is just a normal goat. Then As this happens, Pest turns to Dee Dee and does the same motion and slashes, and the bottom half, that half of the external circle of light goes out. Dee Dee, though, seems largely unaffected. Pest continues, this time focusing all of this energy on himself, and before he makes the final cut, you all, no check required, can see nerves, trepidation, because this is the one. If Pest is within his own 5% chance, and he makes a slashing motion, and the next ring goes out, and Pest sort of braces himself against his needle for a moment, and exhales as he seems okay. He continues to move and slashes at Thembo, who also seems fine, and makes a final screeching cut, verbally and somatically, and severs the final ring of light. And the Thayan woman at the center collapses down, unconscious in the center of the circle. And Pest says, "It's done. Now let's see what's next." And that's where we'll finish Series 3.
Really?
Wait, I have questions.
So many.
Questions.
Oh,
You
my
all
goodness.
did it, and I love it. I adore the four of you so much. I had pretty specific plans for the first half of tonight. And then I said, I know Pest's motivations, and I know how strongly he's going to hold to them. And I'm going to see what, because I didn't know if you all would be into the plan or not, or into a version or what. And this was awesome. I think it sets up very exciting potential stories. I think you all have made some real strides in like what you're, I don't know. This has all been very exciting for me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you
And I
so
am
much,
sorry.
Eugenio.
You are
Thank
so
you.
welcome.
This was amazing.
So much fun.
And you know, I hate to cliffhanger at the end of a season like this, but it's just it's such a giant thing that you all have facilitated, let's say, not done.
I think with what just happened, we would need another season to finish that story,
I
right?
mean, it's a thought.
We have to correct it if we messed it up, or we have
Yeah,
to.
there was all the
I mean-
paperwork afterwards, and there's definitely going to be some unions
So much
formed,
paperwork.
and-
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
the
for
Universal
sure.
Coalition of Summoners will probably have something to say about this.
And
Plus,
we
we
have
gotta
to
get
start our
Squiddle's dad
own
to the country
union.
club over there
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Sigil.
yeah.
Like-
Yes, I mean that for sure. I love it. I love it. All right. So
It'll be fine.
It's gonna absolutely be fine. All right. I'm looking for my end of show stuff. But the first thing I want to do is just say thank you once again. Thank you for this. Has been so fun. It has been an honor and a pleasure to helm Familiar Quest Series 3. It's been a weird chase. I hope I didn't. I hope I didn't center my perfect little horror boy too much for you all, but you were wonderful and clearly very much the stars in all of our hearts and minds. I do want to take a minute. I know we're at 10 o'clock, but I do want to take a minute to go around and let these four brilliant humans tell you, now that we're done here on Monday nights, where else you can find and support them on the interwebs going forward. So let's do that, and let's start in the top left with Brian.
Hi.
There we go.
You can pretty much find me everywhere on social media as Urban Bohemian. On TikTok, you have to add the underscore. On my own channel, I'll be playing Star Trek Resurgence tomorrow. And it's my first time playing that kind of game, so
It's
there
so
will
fun.
be I will be diving all into that. And then yeah, you can catch me on my channel, and then this Sunday look on twitch.tv/Rivals of Waterdeep, where you can find myself and Eugenio co-DMing this week's episode. And yeah, Urban Bohemian. It's down there. It's written down there somewhere.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Let's head across to Megan.
This is the last one, isn't
I
it?
know,
It makes me
I
sad.
know.
I've
I
had so
know,
much
I
fun
can't
playing
believe
with
it.
everybody here. And thank you to everybody in chat who has showed up for all of our games.
Yes.
You all have been lovely.
Mhm.
I'm Megan Kenrick, and you can find me most everywhere on the internet at Megan Kenrick. I'm most active on Instagram and TikTok, making funny D&D content. I do have something fun coming up later this year, but I can't announce it just yet. I'm still technically on Twitter, so you can follow me there at Megan Kenrick for announcements.
Love it. Let's go over to Kelly.
Hi, Hi, I'm Kelly at the Opera Geek, pretty much everywhere except YouTube, where somebody else got it first. So on YouTube, I am Kelly the Opera Geek. I'm currently playing through, guessed it, Tears of the Kingdom on my Twitch channel, and I'm having, as a lifelong Zelda fan, a lovely time doing it. Other than that, this is the only game I had planned for right now, but I know it's really far in advance, but in September, I am on the advisory board of the Stream to End MS, and in September, we are having our second annual TTRPG Stream to End MS event. So I might be on the hook to DM publicly again for that one. It
You're gonna be great.
involves an
Nice.
abyssal goose. So I think
Yeah.
everybody's
Love
going to want to attend. Yes, that's it.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, and of course, I'm so sorry.
Bye.
Oh, buddy. I love it. Let's go over to Alicia.
It's amazing. Scotty's like, how dare you make me look stupid? I love it. Everybody, I'm Alicia Marie. You can find me everywhere on socials at Alicia Marie Body. And I just want to thank everyone for this game. It's been incredibly chaotic. It's one of my favorite ways to play. Just like everyone sort of throws everything at a wall. And I really love seeing how everyone played their familiars, because we're so used to playing true humanoids. So usually there's like one person who's more animalistic in a group, but this was a group of 4 people who are all like not really humanoid
Thumbless.
types. Yeah. So it was
I usually
interesting to
play
see.
really serious characters.
So it was fun, like seeing how everyone did it, and then how all of the characters came together so well to do what they had no idea what they were doing, but the story kind of just told itself in a really fun way. So I'm a costume artist and I'm professional, and I work on a lot of different projects. On my socials, you can see what I'm up to and what I'm doing. On Tuesday nights, I'm on Demiplane RPG, and I'm part of the cast of Children of Erte, and we are like on episode like 46 or something. So things are getting really, really weird over there because our characters are starting to change. They're starting to change now. So we're starting to get in the meat of who they are. So it's a lot of fun. Also, I do have some interesting things coming up in the fall as well. So I can't announce them yet, but I just want to say I'm excited about them. And if you follow me on socials, you'll get to see all the madness come alive.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I have been and hope to continue to be Eugenio. I'm DM Jazzy Hands on the internet. I am also playing mostly Tears of the Kingdom on my stream channel. If you want to come hang out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will probably play some Star Trek Resurgence as well at some point. I don't know if I'm going to do it tomorrow or not, but at some point I almost certainly will. Brian already told you can catch us on Sunday co-DMing the Penny Epi of Rivals of Waterdeep, the penultimate second to last episode ever of Rivals of Waterdeep, coming up this Sunday. So come check us out over there. And that's me. We do have some other housekeeping tonight very quickly before we wrap up here. And the first is that I want to congratulate, oh hell, I changed the Discord thing. Here we go. I want to congratulate Dilettante FTW, Dilettante for the win. Congratulations. They are the winner of tonight's Beetle and Grimm's Cleric class dice set. So congratulations. I believe mods have reached out to you and that is all in process, but congratulations to you. So many thank yous once again. Thank you, of course, to Luca for producing this evening and every other evening that we've done. We appreciate you so very much. Makes my and all of our lives so much easier. Lauren, thank you so much for moderating tonight. And of course, thank you to everyone who moderated across all of the weeks. I know Lauren was here and V was here and Jordan was here most weeks. So thank you all keeping us safe in chat. Appreciate that. Of course, thank you, Alicia, Brian, Kelly, and Megan. It has been a joy and a pleasure. Yes, thank you to me and that. Thank you to our special guests, Johnny and Gabe, for coming in and just really helping me to sort of push the story at those really clutch little moments, like a third and 2/3 of the way through. Huge thanks to both of them. And one more last time, thank you to all of you who hung out with us every Monday night for the past 8 weeks for this series of A Familiar Quest. Thank you to Beetle and Grimm's. Thank you to Idle Champions. Thank you to everyone involved in this project. You all make sure that you log into Idle Champions, get all of these wonderful familiars, all of their forms, my 3 babies, wherever side of me they're on. Get all of that in the Idle Champions game. And of course, if you missed any episode from this season or any of the previous seasons, you can catch all of the VODs up on the Idle Champions YouTube page. That is it for us. Thank you all so very, very much. We hope to see all of you around the internets in our various homes very, very soon. Thank you. Good night. Happy gaming, y'all.
Night,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.